Hey there everyone, welcome to another Expedition 33 video. This might be my best Expedition 33 build until now. I have been doing crazy amount of damage with this. 200 million, 125 million. This is absolutely insane and crazy. And I think I have ran out of enemies to try this on. So soon I will drop in New Game Plus to find out what are the true limits that I can push this build to. Maybe in billions, who knows? Tell me in comments if you manage to find out. This Maelle build is absolutely broken right now and completely destroys everything in the game in just one move. Today I will tell you everything from best character party to use for maximum damage, best weapon for Maelle, best Luminas and Pictos, and what really is the skill rotation to get these insane numbers. Let's get started with the weapons first. For Maelle, we are using Medallum. We get this weapon after defeating the Gestural village chief. Very simple, this weapon lets you start the fight in Virtuosa stance. But even if you don't have this weapon, don't worry too much about it, because we will perform a move that switches us to Virtuosa stance again. For Verso, we use Chevelum. Again, not super important, because even if it says that we start the battle in S rank, it won't matter much. More on that later. For CL, we use Corderon. This is somewhat important actually, because it curses us and we deal 50% more damage. Not only damage, but we get more AP when we use skill under a curse. So very helpful actually. Now let's see the attributes. For all three characters, agility, then luck, then defense. That's the priority order. Now let's see the Pictos and Luminas. This is the most important part of the build. So I will try to edit it in the most convenient fashion. So we want to use our level 3 gradient skill gommage. So plan is to take a lot of gradient generating Luminas. Let's start with CL first. Auto Rush and Greater Rush is top priority here. Then we take gradient charging skills such as charging alteration, charging attack, and charging critical. Charging alteration works when we buff Maelle using CL. Charging attack works with our base attack, and charging critical works when we get a critical hit. Remember, these skills work once a turn, so don't use them more than once. Alright, now apart from gradient generating skills, we use double mark, which doesn't remove mark in one hit. Very important. Take all the energizing starts if you have the points. And then we have faster than strong. Cheaper version of cheater that lets you always play twice but deal less damage. We use this in CL and Verso too, because Maelle handles the damage department. Now next is auto death and second chance. One kills you in the start of the battle and other revives you with full health. This happens only once. Now you might ask, why do we do this? Let me explain. When first Verso and CL dies, shielding death is activated, and then powerful shield is activated on Maelle, which says 10% increased damage per shield point active on self, which means 6 shield when they both die. And don't forget painted power, of course. Pictos for CL will be burning break, gradient breaker, and shielding death. Now for Verso, Luminas will be similar with some exceptions, like breaking death, which fills the enemy's break bar, very important. Here are all of them. Let's move on to Maelle, our main damage dealer. I will talk about all the damage skills. At Death's Door, which makes you deal 50% more damage. Confident Fighter, 30% increased damage. Next is Immaculate, which gives you 30% increased damage on your first hit. Inverted Affinity, 50% increased damage for 3 turns. We also have Glass Cannon, which deals 25% more damage. Roulette is an incredible skill, which gives you sometimes 200% increased damage. Teamwork gives you 10% increased damage when all your allies are alive. And don't forget Cheater and Auto Rush, even Greater Rush if you have points left. Alright, now let's see the skills we use. First, with Verso, we will use Radiant Slash for breaking the target, and Overload to replenish all AP. With CL, we only need one skill, which is Fortune's Fury, which will buff Maelle to deal double damage for one turn. Next, for Maelle, we only need one skill, gommage, or even phantom strike if there are many powerful targets. That's it. You can use any other skill you like, everything works, but this is all we need. Listen close and listen very carefully. Very important thing firstly, keep in mind the speed of Verso should be highest. Second should be CL, lowest should be Maelle. Not like 2000, 1500 and 500. That's not gonna work because in that case, your enemy's turn will come as you can see in my case. But it's okay because I am breaking them. But you don't want that. What you want are close numbers like 2000, 1985 and 1950. So here is the skill rotation. Basically, you want to aim and shoot first. And then do a base attack.
Ready to strike.
For the second turn with Verso, you want to do the Radiant Slash so you can break the target. And then the target is stunned so it won't attack. Very nice. Then it's Verso's turn again. Then you repeat the process, aim and shoot, and then do a base attack again. Look at the gradient meter. It's already at level 3. We're almost there, guys. Now it's CL's turn. Only thing left to do is buff Maelle. Use Fortune's favor on her and double the damage she do. Now use last chance and switch to Virtuosa stance.
Blades sharpened.
Now you are absolutely ready. Pick your target. We will prefer the target with the mark. And just choose gommage.
Out of this canvas.
And bang! 250 million damage. Look at that. Done. You should be dealing damage in millions if not billions. I would really like to know what's the highest this build can go. So let me know in the comments what numbers you have gotten with this build. Alright, that wraps up my overpowered endgame Maelle build. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Comment if you have any questions or tweaks. And subscribe for more Expedition 33 videos. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.